Today we're diving into a spiritual teaching that promises a path to what's called supreme peace. It's all about a journey that claims it can take us from our limited reality to a limitless one, all through a special kind of divine guidance. So what does it actually mean? Let's get into it. Our journey kicks off with this really powerful phrase. Right away, it sets the stage for a quest that goes way beyond our normal understanding of boundaries. We're aiming for a state of just profound tranquility. And that repetition, that's totally intentional. This isn't just your everyday, run-of-the-mill peace. This is supreme, supreme, supreme great peace.
So, how does a journey like this even begin? Well, the teachings aren't framed as a bunch of strict rules. Instead, they're presented as an invitation, described as a priceless nectar for the soul. The whole idea is that this isn't just information you're getting, it's a kind of spiritual nourishment.
Okay, so this whole path really boils down to two key ideas. The first one is Vani, which is the divine message, the knowledge that's being shared. And the second is Purushartha, which is all about the spiritual effort that you, the individual soul, have to make. It's this combo of getting the guidance and then actually doing something with it. And this is super important. Engaging with the Vani isn't about just sitting back and passively listening. It's actually considered an active state of yoga. It's the very foundation that allows a soul to connect with what it calls the limitless Father. And this connection, well, that's where immense power and clear guidance are said to come from. All right, so that connection brings us to the central guide on this journey, a figure known as the Behaddu, or the limitless Father. So for the followers, who are called the Behaddu children, the path is actually described as being pretty simple, but also really profound. It's all about staying immersed in the love of this Supreme Father. The teaching says that this constant connection is the true source of that immense power we were just talking about. And this idea is driven home by a direct quote from a figure named Bapuji. It says that the divine message, Vani, isn't just wisdom. It's framed as a direct pipeline of power and guidance specifically for the followers. Now, this is where things get personal. The focus of these teachings shifts from the guide directly to the individual. This isn't some distant concept, it's a path that asks you to see your own role in a much bigger cosmic plan. So, here's the thing. According to these teachings, the people who actually help out with the work of the Behaddu are considered the highest, most elevated souls. They're called the Behaddu souls. The crucial point here is to see yourself in that light as a key architect of this divine plan. To really put this role into perspective, the source material makes this fascinating comparison. On one side, you have limited fortune. It gives the example of working for, say, a prime minister, a position most people would agree is a pretty big deal. But then on the other side, it presents limitless fortune, assisting the Behaddu directly. The implication is crystal clear. This spiritual role is seen as having a significance that goes far beyond any worldly status. So, if you accept this role, what actually happens to you on a personal level? Well, the teachings lay out a whole process of transformation, which they actually describe as a science of the soul. This journey is said to bring about 3 real, tangible results. First, a daily increase in your soul power. Second, and this is a big claim, this interchange is said to lead to an actual physical transformation. And third, something called character purification, where the soul's new power fundamentally shifts your core tendencies and behaviors for the better. With this transformation happening, we can now zoom out and look at the ultimate goal, the grand purpose of it all. This is the big quest, the supreme universal mission. And the mission? Well, it's huge. We're talking epic scale. The stated goal is for the followers, or the seed souls, to help transform what's called the world of death, Murtilok, into a world of immortality, or Amarlok. This is pointing to nothing less than a complete spiritual renewal of the entire planet. And there's a real sense of urgency to all this. The call to action is to dedicate your complete power to this cause of limitless universal welfare. Not tomorrow, not next week, but starting right now, today. So, if that mission is resonating with you, the next logical question is, okay, how do I contribute? The source material shifts here, moving from that grand vision to the practical steps anyone can take if they want to get involved. The path to getting involved is laid out in 4 clear steps. The first is sharing the knowledge, which is considered the highest form of donation.
This is followed by deepening your own study through the materials provided, then joining a digital community to connect with others, and finally establishing a daily practice.
For that daily practice, followers are pointed towards the organization's YouTube channel. This is basically positioned as the main hub for listening to the daily Vani, which is meant to really intensify your knowledge and deepen that spiritual effort, or Purushartha.
A huge part of this practice is the daily live meditation. And it's pretty interesting, this actually got started during the 2020 lockdown and has just kept going ever since. It's created this global community where people can practice being in their soul-conscious form, or Atma Swarup. And these sessions sound like a seriously deep dive into some profound topics. They combine their core, limitless knowledge with teachings from well-known ancient texts like the Vedas, the Shastras, and the Gita. And then, each session ends with a group meditation focused on the welfare of everyone. And so we end right back where we began, with this profound mantra, Behaddu, Param, 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 Shanti hai. Beyond the limitless is the supreme, supreme, supreme great peace. We've explored the concepts, the guide, your potential role, and the mission. The final question this really leaves us with is, what does the limitless truly mean to you?